Wrong one. Hello everyone and welcome back to the STPL. We are about to go into the second game of SouL versus Foreign Brood War. This is the final series of week 5, but as I said before, there's a lot more still to come. I can actually show the format as well if that helps a little bit later on. I can do that next. But this should be a fairly cool series between SouL and Foreign Brood War. Unfortunately, the first game not going in Foreign Brood War's favour. Roegi did put a good fight, but unfortunately got a little bit mis-microed, I guess. He got a little bit out-microed, should I say, and that did give Richley the win. But let's actually head on over to the overlay. Let's introduce the players. And then, actually, first of all, I'm going to bring up the... I'm going to set the colours, for one. And then I'm going to let you guys know exactly what the format is. Just quickly talk through that just while we've got a moment. But here we go. Let's move on over to the overlay and let's go from there. Now, let's actually turn that back on. Now, as you can see, this is the format of the STPL. So 4 rounds. The top 2 players from each team will go into the playoffs. Then A1, so the top of A will face off against the second of B. Top of B will face off against the second of A in a best of 5. And like a normal game, and then in the finals it's going to be a best of 7. Now after the 4 rounds and after the 4 sets of playoffs, the 4 teams with the highest amount of league points will move on to stage 2, which will be the STPL Season 1 semi-final, and that is going to be A1 versus B2 again, and A1... Okay, that should be B1 versus A2. Either way, that's going to be a best of 3, best of 5. So basically, you'll have 3 they'll have to win a best of 3 or best of 5 series. So take a normal SCPL game and multiply that by 3, basically. But that's about it for the final, for the format. And then the finals are going to be a best of 3, best of 7. So that should be pretty cool. But let's actually have a look at the overlay. Let's see who are going to be the players in this game, and let's have a look at what map they're going to be playing on. It's going to be Dandy fighting for SouL, very strong foreign Terran player, against Tempest. A new up-and-coming Zerg, not had many tournament results so far. Very active in the Foreign Brood War community though, so cool to see him finally playing in the SCPL. And this is going to be a TVZ, going to be a lot of fun. And they are going to be playing on Sin, Chupung-Ryeong. Now this, historically, was a very strong Terran map in TVZ. But there's been a lot of Zergs being sent out on this, so I think teams are a lot more confident in their Zerg players than their Terrans. Now, of course, SouL is the exception to that rule. The majority of the players that have been sent out for SouL have been their Terrans, so really, really strong Terran play. But let's not waste any more time. Let's head on over to the game, and let's get started with the second game in this series. Okay, so starting us off in the bottom left position, it's going to be the Red Terran fighting for SouL. It's going to be Dandy. Now his opponent spawning in the top right is going to be in the yellow, fighting for Foreign Brood War, representing his team shirt color. It's going to be Tempest, or in this game, Tempesto. Looks like we're not going to see anything crazy from Tempest. Now, one thing that is available to, I'd say, not so much lower level players, but Dandy is probably one of the best, if not the best foreign Terran at the moment. You can opt to go for some kind of cheese. Now, Tempest could have chosen to go for 4-pull, but he is going to try and play a little bit of a longer game here. Tempest, there he is in the chat. Good to see you here, buddy. Hopefully you've had a good day at work. I know you're American, I think, so you must have probably just got back from work, or you're just at work still. I know a couple of people in the Foreign Brood War Discord said they watched from work, so thanks for tuning in. Thank you for watching during work, and of course, to everyone who's currently watching, thank you for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the SCPL. I have a lot of fun bringing it to you, and this is why I do it. So I will continue doing this for as long as I possibly can. Of course, it does eat a lot of my time, but I really don't mind that. I can't think of a better way to spend my evenings after work than casting some Brood War, sharing some cool Brood War replays with some wonderful friends in the Brood War community, and of course, some wonderful friends, the people who tune into the stream, and of course get the players playing on different maps that a lot of tournaments don't run. That's always been one of my goals in the Foreign Brood War community ever since I became a caster 2 years ago, and I like to think I'm pulling that off. Dandy actually going to go for a wall here, so we could even see 2-port Wraith from him, going for a very quick refinery. Now usually you don't wall in TVZ, of course you can wall and go 1-1-1, but even then it's not really worth it. The only time you really see Terran's wall is actually for 2-port Wraith. Now, this is actually one of the options you see a lot of higher level Terran players go for if they feel they're a little bit, or a lot stronger than their opponent, but we do have Tempest going for the 12 hatchery into the 14 pool here, so going to be playing a pretty economically focused build here, but what is Dandy going to go for this 2-port Wraith, or is he going to go for some kind of 2-fact, 3-fact all-in? Could even go for a 5-fact. And, I mean, there's a lot that could go in this game. Now, I believe Philoz said this was his favourite map yesterday, so hopefully he gets to see another good game on this. We saw a very, very interesting, I think it was a PVT on this yesterday, I can't remember, but very, very cool game on this on Wednesday, sorry, not yesterday. Yeah, pretty cool. We do have that walling coming up. This isn't fully ling tight, so if Tempest did scout this out, he could actually go for a lot of lings with speed very early on and try and punish the tech build from the Terran player, but probably going to be a little bit late. We do have the 3rd hatchery coming up for Tempest as well. He's droning up behind this. Now, the important thing to remember is Tempest is on the Foreign Brood War team, and they have some of the better, not the best, far from the best, but a lot of very good foreign Zerg players on it, and Tempest is going to have a lot of people to learn from, a lot of people to practice with as well. There's some strong Terran players on the Foreign Brood War Discord, so hopefully he's put in a decent amount of practice here. This is going to be a 2-port Wraith, as you can see here, 2 ports going up in the top left corner of the base. And looks like we are going to have Tempest building a creep colony already. He knows what's coming, I feel. Obviously that could be for a Sunken, he doesn't have an Evo yet, but this will give him a little bit of flexibility as long as he doesn't morph that. The lair coming in going to allow him to go for a pretty quick Spire, but he's going to have to be careful now. This is going to be the first moment that Tempest does in fact see that we do have a tech build coming up for Dandy. Of course, he did scout the gas before, but obviously it's a little bit harder to figure out what exactly you're going to be facing. This is one of the reasons why Flash says the 1-1-1 is so good, because there's so many different follow-ups, so many different variations, that it makes it very hard for the Zerg player to guess what's going on. Now we have a Hydra thing going up. This is the perfect response to this build. Not only does it create a semi-wall to help deal with the Vulture, but it also will... Oh, this Vulture is going to actually go down to the Sunken. It's not going to do any damage, and that's a huge mistake for Dandy. But we do have the Queen. Oh my god, this is actually Hydralis into quick Queen's Nest. He is going fast Hive off of 2 base. This could be for Ultras, this could be for very quick Defilers. But you know what this is going to be good for? He is going to have a lot of Hydralis against these Wraiths. Now the Wraiths did manage to take out 1 Overlord between them, so that's going to be kind of important in this game. But of course there is a lot to play for. We have a couple of Hydras in. He needs to save his Overlord though. His Hydra's a little bit too far over. And I mean, do we have a control tower? Yes we do. So Cloak should be on the way soon. But I mean, as long as Tempest is adding on some Overlords, which he is, as long as he's adding more and more... Oh man, this is bad though. He's not able to get it because of this wall. He's actually unable to get his Hydras to the right place. And these units are going to go into the main. They're going to get another Overlord. Oh no. Tempest has been caught off guard here. He's not got an Evo Chamber. And the Wraith Micro from Dandy is just doing absolute wonders here. Tempest is just unfortunately unable to build any units right now. He's been supply blocked for a solid minute at this point. And Dandy making good usage of the amount of airspace. Here we go. Another cream colony coming up. But another Overlord is going to go down. Finally, Tempest can add some Hydras though. But this is just so much damage. Do we have Hydras range? I think we may do, but Hydras speed is up. But look at Dandy's Wraith Micro. This is an absolute massacre. 21 out of 3 supply. Oh my god, poor Tempest. He is getting bopped right now by this Wraith control. and dandy. You can see his units down here. We should have Cloak on the way if it's not already finished. A barracks being added behind this, so he is going to go into bio to finish off this push. Cloak is gone in. There's an Evo chamber, but there's no creep colony here. All of the drones are getting taken out, and Tempest is trying to hold on, but he's taken so much damage. It's 50 supply against 12, against 11 in just over a second. And no, up to 15 now, so the supply slowly rising once again. And wow, Philos was actually at the first match that I saw in competitive Brood War, so that's kind of cool. Really cool you got to see that. Hopefully you got some cool merchandise from that OSL final, but there we go. Looks like we are going to have more and more drones getting taken down. Tempest unfortunately getting completely bobbed here. He tried to go in with a cool build, just didn't quite have the Overlord spread, didn't quite have the creep colonies up quick enough to do this. He did have, unfortunately he did have the Hydras, but he didn't have the units there to defend. Now we do have a Spore colony up at the Naturals, so going to be a little bit harder. But GG, Dan